And then, so there was no warning now, was it? Wait, you haven't entered it.
Hello and welcome to day one of the PCOS Transformation Challenge. Thank you so much for joining me. I know that there have been some technical issues and I know there were some issues with people actually finding where we're going live. So hopefully you have found this video and you are with me. I know that there is a delay on the video and hopefully we have the video playing. Okay, so we've got the video playing in the event. I've got my husband's laptop and my laptop and I'm checking that we are live and I can see that we are live in the event. So that's good news. So just to give you some idea of how these lives will work. The first thing is that in previous challenges, we have hosted them on Facebook. And so all of the lives were on our PCOS Diet Support Facebook page. On the big, we have 100,000 followers on that Facebook page, and that would be accessible to everybody. But for this particular challenge, we really wanted to make it personal and much more intimate than you would get on a page of 100,000 people. So we are using YouTube to stream, and we are and this is only going to you in the tribe. Okay, this is not going anywhere else. So this is just us who are participating in the challenge this week. So every evening I will be talking about the topic that we are discussing for the day. And I will be doing quite a lot of teaching on that topic. I will absolutely be available to answer questions. So I just need to navigate my way around the tribe so that I make sure that I am answering any questions that you might have. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on my other laptop just to make sure that I am getting to your questions if you have any. So if you do have questions, please feel free to post them. I'm really happy to answer any questions that you might have. And we also have it on YouTube. But so if you have any questions, if you're watching on the YouTube link that you can see on that event, then feel free to ask the questions and it'll come through on my program. The last thing that I wanted to say before we carry on is that if the streaming quality is not ideal, I'm really sorry. We do have uncapped, very fast fiber, but coming from South Africa, everything is a little bit slower, even though you may have what you think is the best. So we will just keep an eye on the streaming quality, and if it's not ideal, then we will change as we need to. But I'm seeing that we have some people with me on the video, so that's good news. It's good news. We're trying, this is all new. This is the first time that we're doing a challenge in Mighty Networks in this tribe. So just bear with us as Heidi and I work out some of the technical elements. But I've got people watching and I'm getting thumbs ups, so that's good. It means that things are kind of working. So please feel free, say hi, let me know where you're from. I would love to know who has been able to join me on the call. I'm going to monitor the Mighty Networks on this one. So say hi, let's see who has been able to join us for this live. I know that a lot of people are going to catch up on replay. And if you're catching up on replay, thanks so much for joining us. Okay, I think that was a lot of the technical stuff that I wanted to speak about. I wanted to say firstly that, and I've got some pictures. If you've done challenges with me before, you know that I always have a meme for everything. So no one is as excited as me. I'm so excited about this challenge. I'm so excited about the Mighty Networks platform. I'm so excited about the community that we are developing around this challenge. So I'm very excited. I'm very excited about our first live tonight. So thank you so much for joining me. I also wanted to say that losing weight with PCOS is difficult. I know that when I was first diagnosed, hi Eleonora. When I was first diagnosed, I was probably considered to have lean PCOS, and as I have gotten older and had 2 children, I struggle with my weight more and more, and it is certainly something that I really have to keep an eye on. When we have just moved, for those who don't know, we've just moved from the UK to Cape Town, so for the last 6 months, everything has been a mess. Including my PCOS. So I'm still really kind of battling to get on track with my PCOS. So I am personally taking part in this challenge for myself as well. But so often we feel like this with PCOS. We feel like when someone eats whatever they want and looks great, well, I just smell a cookie and gain 3 pounds. And it just doesn't seem fair. And it absolutely doesn't seem fair with PCOS. And we're going to talk about why losing weight with PCOS is so difficult. But I'm going to give you a ray of hope that is exactly why we are here this week, to focus on strategies and scientifically proven strategies to help you lose weight with PCOS. I'm not going to tell you to go out and buy some crazy shakes or do some crazy eating regime or cut out whole food groups. Like, that is not what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about scientifically proven strategies to enable you to lose weight. But in order to implement those strategies, you need to understand what's actually happening in your body when it comes to PCOS. So that is what I want to spend some time on this call talking about. But before we do that, I wanted to say thank you for doing your measurements, getting on the scale. I know that is not the anybody's favorite activity. I know that it's just not fun, basically. But I wanted to say very clearly that this is a no shame zone, okay? It actually doesn't even matter what your numbers were. It doesn't matter what they were, because they are not going to stay there. And that is just your starting point. I want you to know in a month from now, I want you to be able to see the progress, but you'll only see the progress when you know where you started from. So that was the only reason that I wanted you to do your numbers, okay? This is absolutely a no shame zone. It doesn't matter what those numbers are. Okay, so I hope I've been very clear about that. And the other thing is that as we go through the challenge, I don't want you to be weighing yourself every day. Okay, that's not going to be helpful. I don't want you to be don't want you to be weighing yourself every week, every other week. We are actually going to put the scale away for a little while, because the scale is not your friend. Okay, the scale is going to go up and down. And I wanted to share this. Oh, hi, Jenny. I'm so glad the video quality is working. That's great. Something in South Africa does work. It's always good to know. And hi, Kelly. Okay, so I'm just going to share some of these. We've got Kelly. Oh, that's not great. The image is wrong. The text is wrong on these. I think it's black when it would actually be more helpful if those comments were white. But anyway, thank you for joining me. And thank you for saying hi. What we were talking about weight loss is that weight loss is not a steady path, okay? So your body weight is going to fluctuate daily and weekly. So what your body weight is doesn't really even matter at this point. What matters is your fat loss and the overall trend. You want to be seeing that line going down over a period of time. But it is going to go up and down during the week. It is going to go up and down from day to day. And that's why the scale is not your friend. I know when I have been working hard, either I've been going to the gym or I've been eating really well, and I get on the scale and I don't see any improvements. It is heartbreaking. That is why we are going to put the scale away for the challenge. What the scale says doesn't matter. We're going to look at how we feel in ourselves and in our health, and we will aim to balance those hormones, and then ultimately the weight will come off kind of as a secondary thing. Okay, so now that I've said all that, let's get on to the real reason of PCOS and why it is so hard to lose weight with PCOS. Now, I do want to share a presentation that I've done, so I'm just going to quickly pull up my slides so that we can do a little bit more in-depth teaching on PCOS. And let's see if I can make this work. And that's not what I wanted. Hang on. Sorry, okay, so let me just say share screen. No, hang on. Share screen. Okay. Hopefully you can see this. I'm just going to double check on the laptop that this is what you can see, but I think that you can see my screen with the little, you should see what PCOS means for you. And I'm just going to check on my screen how PCOS works. Okay, so there is obviously a delay because I'm a little bit ahead of this. Okay, so I'm just going to carry on and hope that everybody can see this. Okay, so this little image that you've got, what PCOS means for you, this image is your pancreas. Okay, I can see it on my screen, so that's fine. I'm going to stop that so we don't, so it doesn't interfere with the stream. Okay, so this is your pancreas, and your pancreas's job is to release insulin. Now, in your pancreas, you have a number of different kinds of cells, but one of the cells that you have is the beta cell. Now, the beta cell's job is to detect when there is glucose in your bloodstream. So say you've had a meal and you have had a cupcake, and you are digesting the cupcake, and as you digest the cupcake, it is being absorbed, and all that sugar and carbohydrates is being released into your bloodstream. Thanks, Melissa, for your encouragement. And thank you, Romy, for telling me that you can see the screen. Okay. So all that sugar is being released into your bloodstream, and it is the beta cells of the pancreas that say, whoa, we have some sugar in the bloodstream. We need to release some insulin. Okay. So insulin is released. Now what happens? Oh no, this is the wrong presentation that I wanted to share with you. So I'm just going to quit this. I'm going to go back to my live, because that was not what I wanted to share with you. I picked the wrong presentation. Oh, hang on. Sorry, guys. Well, that's not helpful. Okay, source, camera. Okay, so I'm back. Okay, so what happens is your body, your pancreas releases all this insulin, okay? Now, what happens in women with PCOS, research has shown that the beta cells of our pancreas tend to produce too much insulin. So we have this flood of insulin hitting our bloodstream. And that insulin then goes to our ovaries, and our ovaries are oversensitive to insulin. So now every woman produces testosterone from her ovaries. But our ovaries are oversensitive to insulin, and we produce too much testosterone, which gives rise to a lot of those symptoms that we see in PCOS. Now, the thing with insulin is that its job, not only is its job to transport sugar from the bloodstream and take them into the muscles of the body, its job is that when those muscles are full of glucose, they can take no more glucose. It then takes that excess sugar and goes and stores it as fat. And that is why it is so crucial to balance your insulin, to make sure that you don't have these super high levels of insulin in your body. Because what you are doing is as those insulin levels rise, what you are doing is you are promoting fat storage. And we really want to avoid that, especially if we want to lose weight. Now, I don't know about you, but for me, I carry all of my weight around my belly. Okay, and I know that I'm not the only one. I'm sure that you can totally relate to this. But my weight is my problem area. I would absolutely consider my belly. And the thing is that weight around your belly, that tie around your belly, is classic of insulin processing issues. Okay. And so when you go to the gym and you think you're gonna get your abs, and work out, doing all the crunches in the world is not necessarily going to give you your six pack, because it is the insulin. You first need to manage the insulin in order to see the weight around your belly shift. And that's a question that we get all the time: is how do we lose weight from our bellies? So that is how PCOS works. Now, there are a couple of other things that we really need to consider with PCOS, because that is just one part of the puzzle. Okay, this is what I've already said. Number one, we release too much insulin, and that is going to promote fat storage. Number two, we have a slower metabolism. Now, this seems a little bit cruel. It kind of feels like we've been hit on all sides by this, okay? But we tend to have a slower metabolism. So research has shown that women without PCOS, the average woman without PCOS, needs around 1,868 calories per day, okay? The average woman with PCOS only need about 1,445 calories per day. So that's over 400 calorie difference per day that women with PCOS need. So our metabolism is much slower. We burn calories at a much slower rate. But now, to add to the fun and games of losing weight with PCOS, we also have disordered hunger hormones. So what I mean by that is that research has shown that women with PCOS can go and have a meal. So say you have the exact same meal as a friend of yours who doesn't have PCOS. Your friend without PCOS is more likely to feel satisfied after her meal. Women with PCOS, you on the other hand, are less likely to feel satisfied. PCOS makes us hungry. So what that does is it means that we tend to overeat, but we don't need as many calories, and we have all this insulin coming into play. So can you see how unfair unfair this is. And more importantly than being unfair, because I'm not, I really feel like we need to take responsibility for our health. So I'm not saying that we should be playing kind of the blame game or the unfair card, but can you see how it's not your fault? If you're overweight with PCOS, I know the struggle that you are having, and it is not your fault. This is part and parcel of PCOS. And one of the things that I feel so passionately about, and I've heard it time and time and time again, is either women who want to try and conceive and they're struggling, so they go to a fertility specialist, and the fertility specialist said, your BMI is too high, you just need to lose some weight. But nobody actually goes about telling us how to lose that weight. It's all good and well to say to somebody, go and lose weight. And you can see that, when I just after I had my daughter, I had some weight that I really wanted to lose, and my sister-in-law was doing Weight Watchers. And so I went along and I did Weight Watchers with her. And she had great results with Weight Watchers. And I was so frustrated that she was getting such good results and I just wasn't. Okay, and I know that you've been there. This is not your first rodeo. This is not the first time you've tried to lose weight. I know that because you're probably exactly like me. This is probably something that you've tried time and time and time again. But until we find the strategies that are going to address those underlying hormones, until we find the strategies that are going to bring balance to those hormones, we will always struggle to lose weight. Now, there is some hope. I feel like this is often like us, this kind of really dry, cracked soil, okay? And the flower is the hope, or at least I hope the flower is the hope. But I really do want to give you hope that over the course of this week, starting from tomorrow, I am going to give you some, as I said, scientifically proven strategies to help you lose weight. Strategies that I have used, that I've taught to thousands of women, and they have seen results. Not just for those of you who are trying to conceive. I know that I've seen a couple coming up in the kind of when we were welcoming and sharing a little bit about ourselves. There were lots of you who were saying that you also really want to conceive. And these strategies have not only helped women lose weight, but have also helped women be able to conceive. And when I employed these strategies initially, when I was first diagnosed, my goal was not weight loss. My goal was to conceive. I wanted to start a family. And by using the strategies that we're going to talk about over the week, I was able to regulate my hormones enough to enable me to fall pregnant with my daughter. And then again, I stuck with the dietary changes. This has become a lifestyle for me, and I was then able to conceive my son. So for those of you who are trying to conceive, these strategies absolutely will work as well. So I just wanted to see if we have any questions. Please feel free to post the questions. If you have, okay, amazing. Melissa's saying, oh my goodness, this is like a light bulb moment. I can see from different aspects now this information is golden. Amazing, amazing. I'm so glad, Melissa, because this is because it's so frustrating. We've all been there, and it's so frustrating when you work so hard and the weight just doesn't budge. But if you have the right tools, if you know what you need to do and apply them correctly, it is absolutely possible to lose weight. We don't have to stay this way forever. So I think tomorrow, I just need to think about what we're going to do. Tomorrow, we're going to look at why calories are not as important as we think they are. We're going to be looking at habits and foods that are sabotaging our weight loss efforts. So those are the things that we're going to be focusing on tomorrow. Then we're going to be, Wednesday, we're going to be looking at what's on your plate. So I know some of you may have heard of the keto diet and macros. We're going to be talking about that. And then there was... on Thursday, we're going to be talking about time-restricted eating and intermittent fasting, which has become a huge buzzword. And then on Friday, we're going to talk about where to go from there. So that's kind of the plan for the week. I am very flexible and very open to changing. This is your challenge, okay? This is all about us as a community and what we need. So if you have any questions, please feel free to post them. Either Heidi and I will answer them. Either Heidi or me will answer them. Maybe I should do a questions thread so that so that we can make sure that your questions are being addressed. If we need to change gears slightly and shift routes slightly during the course of the week, I'm very open to doing that. Maybe we can drop some sessions and add some sessions depending on what people are asking, what questions are coming up. So this is, as I said, this is your challenge, okay? So we need to make this work for you. Then Zara Lynn is saying, my doctor kept telling me to join Weight Watchers. Yeah, that we see that all the time. And it's just unfortunate. It's just unfortunate because the research is so clear. The research is so clear that diet and lifestyle changes are the first line of treatment for women with PCOS. Before the birth control pill, before metformin, it is diet and lifestyle changes. And if only our healthcare practitioners had more guidance on the nutritional elements of PCOS and weight loss. So your comment doesn't surprise me about going to Weight Watchers. And maybe Weight Watchers, to be fair to Weight Watchers, maybe Weight Watchers has changed a little bit with the time, but certainly when I was doing 8 years ago, it was just totally inappropriate. So for example, Weight Watchers is all about points based, and you could easily have a pasta meal that didn't have very many points associated with that pasta meal. But if I ate that pasta meal, I know that my insulin would go hugely out of control, and that would result in my testosterone levels rising. It would promote fat storage. So it didn't matter how many points there are. I could be eating, I could be sticking really strictly to the points, but I could be eating all the wrong things, which is just going to make my hormones even worse, which is never going to enable me to lose weight. So that's the whole purpose of this week, is to focus on balancing hormones, and that will then lead to weight loss. Okay, I think that's about all that I wanted to say. I'm not seeing any other questions coming through. I'm just going to quickly check on my other laptop to check if there are any other questions on the event, if there were any other questions or comments, but I'm not seeing anything. I will be posting this. It is, for those of you who are watching live, it is, if you go to the August 19 Transformation Challenge group, on the left-hand tab, there is a tab for events. This video is embedded in there already, so you can watch it immediately. All the other videos, the events are planned out except for Friday. I will post for Friday's event tomorrow morning. So if you RSVP to those events, you will get reminders and notifications of when we're going to go live. I'm sorry about the fluff around timing. I think in the post that I did this morning, I said that it would be at 4:30 Eastern Standard, and it's actually 3:30 Eastern Standard. I'm still kind of half on UK time, half South African time, so my brain's been muddled when it comes to timing. But thank you so much for joining me, everybody. I really appreciate your time. I'm really excited about this week. I have seen amazing stories of transformation and change from previous women who have done the challenge. So I know this is possible. So it's not all doom and gloom about how PCOS makes it so difficult for us to lose weight. We will absolutely look at how we can balance those hormones, and there absolutely is hope. Okay, if you have any questions after the call, please feel free to comment on the event thread, and Heidi and I will get back to you. Thanks so much, everybody. I really appreciate it, and I will see you same time, same place tomorrow. Bye, everybody.